The Ramones, Flocking, Tucking Heads, Yankees, Mets, Giants, Jets, LIEGWB, FTR, and the BQE. Bus stops, taxi drivers, walk-ups and high-rises, Baker Street and Mulberry, and Staten Island Ferry, Rikers Island, Wall Street, MoMA, Lady Liberty, Park Slope, Brooklyn Heights, Williamsburg, and Bed-Stuy.
Welcome to the Vinny Vella Show. Thank you so much.
Welcome. We have such an audience tonight. I love it. It's so awesome. The energy here.
And all you people up there too, thank you so much. Thank you.
You in the back? Oh, it's so nice to see you.
How you doing? All right. Hey, you know what? I always start off my show by introducing my guests. I love them. You know, I try to dream about them at night before I go to sleep, and I'm always having dreams like, they say the last thing you think about, sometimes you dream about it.
Yeah.
You know, I always have dreams like I'm getting locked up, somebody's chasing me down the street, somebody's robbing me. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to start off with Katie.
Hello.
Yay, Katie.
Cheryl.
Yay, Cheryl.
And Carisa.
Yay, me.
And Lucy.
Lucy
has
Countdown.
Lucy has one more
show
with us after this, and then that's
We
it.
don't wanna
She's
talk
moving
about
on.
that.
She
Oh,
has.
don't say such
I'm gonna miss her terribly because she has her own radio show that's gonna
And web show.
Web show on deck with
going for
Lucy.
and we're gonna talk about that.
Maybe
also.
I'll be a guest one time.
Not tonight.
If I'm lucky.
I'm sorry.
Maybe one day I get to be a guest on her show if I'm
Oh,
lucky.
when she calls me, the two of us will go.
Oh my
'Cause
goodness.
we already went on one show together, you and I.
We did
That
in,
radio show, right?
in Jersey. Yes.
Delicious.
And then the next one we'll go to
love
we'll go to
radio.
Lucy's.
Yeah.
How's that?
Okay.
We like hanging out.
Yeah, we do. It's fun.
Yeah, I know. We went to her wedding.
I think that was sincere.
That sounds so convincing.
yeah. That was a great one.
We went to her wedding, and I still don't believe that Carisa is married because I think that she said that just so that I don't make any more plays for her. I see her. She's always alone. She's out at night. She's out in the daytime.
But you were invited to you were invited to my wedding. It happened.
I
You
know.
remember? Listen, I
and
had fireworks
me and
for
a few
you.
people don't believe it really happened.
Oh,
but,
my goodness.
But that's another story. You know, I love you anyway. But anyway,
Thank you.
tonight we have a hell of a guest. Now, this guy runs a club in Connecticut. Yeah.
That's right.
And it's called, what's the name of the club?
Grand Oak Villa. I don't actually run it, Vin. My cousin does.
Oh,
Okay.
Michael DeStasio.
your cousin runs it?
Yeah,
Well,
he
I'm
runs
gonna
the
let,
club.
I'm going to let him describe
Okay, I'll introduce him.
my next appearance, I'm doing stand-up right now, is I'm going to be coming to this club very soon.
Yes, sir.
And I'm going to let him, please give him a nice hand. That's Sean. Sean, tell us a little bit about the club, how I got to,
How I met you?
how you met me and all that.
Would I go through? Do we have enough time for
Remind
that?
him how you met him.
I've actually told him every time we meet after, you know, because he's always, hey, I'm Vinny.
Yeah,
What's your
sure.
name again? You know, I'm sure you guys are used to that, right? But anyway, I come up to Broadway Comedy, do a show up there one night. And me, being me, I'm always on Mulberry Street. I park my car there because I got to get cannolis for the ride home, you know? That's me. La Bella Ferraris.
Of course.
My favorite
Can't
spot.
go anywhere else.
So anyways, I walk in there with another comic one night, and I walk past the cafe out front, and I took a double take. I said, wait a second. That's that guy from the movies, right? So I stopped, go inside. You know, I had to Google it because I'm really bad with names. So I go out, you know, introduce myself, Mr. Vella, this and that. And 20 minutes after we met, I feel like we knew each other our whole lives, you know? He tells me he's getting into comedy, you know, so we talk, we gave informations, and next thing you know, I built a show around him, you know?
Cool.
Vinny was gonna be the 20-minute guy to begin with, you know, that was my first, you know, thought. But, I mean, I talked to this guy on the phone 2 or 3 times. I said, he's it. He's the star, you know? He's the man, so... You know?
So I'm going to be appearing at this club pretty soon. Then.
Yes, sir, man. November 17th.
When?
November 17th.
November 17th. Yeah, okay. Well, it's coming up. That's coming up, right? Yeah.
And does your club, like, do they have different acts there? Or
I'd say it's more of a banquet hall. It's a wedding and banquet facility. It's absolutely beautiful.
When you say club, I don't know if it was like club.
No, he's
I'm not
probably
going to
thinking that. No, there's plenty of those we can go to if you girls come, for sure. But, yeah, it's more of a wedding and banquet facility. It's a very beautiful place, you know, state of the art. Just gorgeous. You know, I'm lucky to even have the room. But, yeah, man, it's the town I grew up in. So.
What's the name of the town?
Oakville, Connecticut.
Oakville, Connecticut.
I was born and raised there, and it's always special to come back there. And to bring Vinny, I mean, it's going to be awesome.
I think you may be the main event for that night.
Yes,
right?
I did.
Am I the only one up there that night?
No, we got six comics on there. We got Chris Clark from New York City. Yeah, everybody. I'm hosting.
Wait, excuse me.
We actually have a flyer right now.
Oh, it is?
Oh, we missed it. It was on.
Okay. The flyer was just up there.
I'm actually hosting. You know, usually I'm, you know, I got to take a back seat to Vinny Vella, no matter if it's my town or not. But I'm going to host the event, so it's going to pop.
There it is.
That's exciting.
Absolutely.
Nice headshot, Vinny. Look at you.
Thank you.
All spiffy.
Headliner.
Swagger.
I can see it's your name in lights.
We got Chris Clark.
Beautiful.
Get tickets for the event.
Golden number right there. That's your best bet. Or you can go through Vinny. You can go, you know, hit me up on Facebook, anywhere.
They sell out.
By the time I get up there, I'm going to knock him dead.
Oh, I know.
Yes, you
I'm
are.
going to set him up.
You always do.
I'm going to set him up and you're going to knock him down, baby.
You
That's
know
the
what
way it's
happened?
going to
When I
work.
did my first show, a handful of people said to me, Vinny, are you a little nervous about doing? No, first of all, you know, I do my show. I'm always around people, I'm always around an audience and all that. So doing stand-up is just a little bit different,
Sure.
you know? And if you lose their interest, that's
They're
that's it.
gone.
They're gone.
Yeah.
You're not going to get the. You
30
could
seconds.
be
That's all
naked
it
on
takes.
stage. They wouldn't even know it. But
I've done it.
Like dropping his
went
pants, trying to get a laugh.
He's telling me like as if I haven't had that happen before. Trust me. I know.
So what happened is I had a bunch of people say to me, Vinny, are you a little nervous about doing your, you know, your stand-up for the first time? And I went like that. I said, yeah, I guess I'm going to be for the first couple of moments. Then I paused. I said, "Not a couple of moments over, so let's get on with the show." You know?
You'll probably get excited.
And
I mean, when
I
you're
just-
prepared, you're prepared.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah. Then don't forget, now the first show that I did, you don't just get up there and tell stories. Yeah. I've been working on this for 7 months
yeah. Oh, sure.
before I did my first show. You gotta
And
put
rehearsals,
those
dry
stories
runs.
in order. You have to time each one of them, and
You have to make them all flow too.
yeah, and you have to know when to stop, when to pause, when to go into the next one. You know,
this down.
and it's just so
Comedic
much
timing.
I
work.
need to take notes.
And I didn't realize
School's in session.
that it took that much preparation. But you want to know something?
man.
I just went with the flow. And when it was time for me to get up and do it, man, I was on the
You
money.
did a
got
great
to.
job. We went and saw you at the Duplex a few weeks ago, and he was incredible. And we all spoke about, you know, we've heard a lot of stories here on the show, but I hadn't heard half of those things that you said there in your show, and it was so personable. I love when you talk about your mom and your dad because it's you had some funny
I
stories.
brought
to
everybody
share.
into it.
Yeah, you did,
You know,
and it was very
you don't have to be
entertaining.
attached. You know, it's about stories of how I grew up and all that. You don't have to be Italian to appreciate it, or I mean, anyone would appreciate. I mean, there's even a time
You've
when
been raised by your mama.
Yeah.
yeah, well, there was even a time like when I went to jail like for running numbers, and they served like I was online and they served. I turned around and said something, and there was beans on my tray with a little curly thing sticking out from underneath, and I said, "Oh, what's that, man?" So the guy said, "Man, that's soul food, brother. Don't you ever have pigtails and beans before?" I said, "Well, you know," I said. No, I haven't. I said, I don't eat that shit. You know? She said, "Man, what you want, biscotti?"
You can't make that
I
up.
said,
You do want
first of all,
biscotti.
it's not biscotti, you idiot. It's spaghetti.
Right.
So he says, I said, maybe you people are used to eating this shit. He goes, "What you mean, those people, you mother?" And he threw it at me, I threw it back, and they put me in a hole for 90 days. They told me I started race rioting. I didn't say anything racial. I just said, maybe you people are used to eating this shit. I never even knew there was a such thing as pigtails and beans.
Me either.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Pigtails.
And then when I was in the hole, I asked the cop one night, I
sound
said,
good.
"Excuse me," I said, "You know what time it is?" He goes, what do you got, an effing date?" All right. Chill out, man. You know, I ain't going nowhere. You know, that's just one of the stories that's in it. But there's a little more to it. But anyway, I can't wait to come up there.
And Sean, you
can't
said
wait
that
to
you
have
were
it.
going to be hosting this
Yeah,
event.
I actually haven't hosted in about a year or so it's great to go back to what I started doing. But, I mean, Vinny is going to come to this town, and everybody's going to love you. These are our people. These are all Italian people. People already love me that are, you know, from there. But by the time you leave, you're going to be the mayor of Oakville. I'm telling you. You're a star up here in New York City, but over there in Connecticut, you're going to be...
Speaking his
Oh,
language.
boy. You go up there on
You
a
know,
bike,
he is
you
the
and
mayor
I.
of Little Italy. You do know
Yeah,
that.
he is.
Absolutely. I've
you know
seen
you
him in
can't go
action more than
anywhere
once.
with him.
Absolutely.
So wait, you've been doing stand-up for a long time?
Not very long, but long enough, you know.
Do you put a lot of these comedy shows together?
Every 3 months.
Yeah.
I come to New York City a lot, like every month, maybe every 3 weeks. I try. You know, it's tough. Connecticut's a tough market, man. It's not like New York City where you can get a show every night of the week. You
so true.
gotta create them, man.
It's probably easy to lose
That's how I started
perspective.
promoting my own shows. I'm like, you know, I'm tired of coming up here and begging these people for work. I'm tired of begging the casinos in Connecticut for work. I'll just do my own show. So I
There's
started
two-
pulling acts from New York
I don't
City
mean to interrupt, but there's two people that if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be doing all these shows. That did a lot of work for me, did a lot of research, they helped me out, and that's Gary Morgan
Yay, Gary!
and
Love Gary.
and Scotty, my boy Scotty.
Scotty!
And they've helped me out quite a bit.
True.
And
Their right
so
and left arm.
when we wrote it all out, we timed it all, and then my boy Joseph walked in, and we timed it all, and we wrote it all out, and they said, we're gonna do a rehearsal. Actually, it's not that I feel that I didn't need it, but I actually felt like I didn't need it, because I already knew what I was gonna say.
But you got the charisma down, Vin. You got the delivery. A lot of people, they call it your voice in comedy. You got to find your voice. Some guys, it takes 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. You were born with your voice. You sell yourself.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, when I met you, I felt like I knew you from my whole life. And you can't teach that. That's not something you learn. You have it or you don't, man.
I enjoy being out
people
there
very
and doing what I'm doing.
Absolutely.
Because I'm a people lover, you know.
No,
and
come on.
I enjoy
I love those
being around people.
I love
I love to see us, you know, making people laugh and making people smile is the best medicine. You can't get that in a pharmacy. You can't get that nowhere else.
I've got letters at home, like from different famous comics, that kind of thing. I put together a scrapbook the first year I was in comedy to kind of keep things so I remember years later. But one that I have that's my favorite was a cancer benefit I was a small part of years ago, and the lady had some serious cancer, and I got a letter from her daughter saying how, you know, her mother hadn't laughed like that in so long, and how much they appreciated me being there, and that's my favorite, man. It is like you say.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, every comic wants to be loved. You want it, you want love. That's what you're in it for. You want people to be happy, and you know.
To make fun of life, because life.
Oh sure,
you know,
you
have to
gotta
find the
find
humor
it.
in
You
life.
gotta find it. You gotta find it.
Absolutely. It's-
Well, I enjoy doing what I'm doing. I love making people laugh. And after the last two shows that I've done, I've had people come over to me and, oh man, I mean, I had one woman come over to me. She goes, you know, Vinny, I'm sorry, it's embarrassing for me to say, but I almost wet in my pants. And then I had another friend of mine on the first show. That I did, and I won't mention his name in case we ever get to meet him sometime.
Gotcha.
But all of a sudden, I went to an after party. He was gone, and I called him up, and I said, "Where are you?" I said, "I was looking all over for you." He said, and he mentioned the story that I said. He said, "Vinny, I couldn't help it. When you said that, I peed in my pants. The whole front of my pants was wet."
No!
So he left. He left me right there. So,
made a
you know,
grown
to me,
man
that was
wet
a
his
compliment. If I could make you pee in your pants,
Yeah.
Make that up.
I think I'm
He
all
made a
right.
grown man admit to peeing in his pants.
I
That's even
know.
better, man.
I made Cheryl pee in her pants once.
Oh my goodness.
What does that even mean?
No, I didn't. I did not.
Moving on. You miss me saying that.
You do, don't you?
I do say that. When it
Moving
gets a
on.
little bit, I'm like, moving on. You guys have just said, you know, how much of a great effect it can be when you make people laugh and doing what you do as comedians. Do you have any advice for struggling comics out there who maybe are like, you know, I'm not landing that gig, I'm not getting where I want to do? What advice do you have for them? Because there's tons of them out there here in New York.
Question, Lucy.
Well, you know, my last 2 shows, I thought I'd throw in some good
Well, I can tell you something that worked for me. I got to the point once where I was stressed and comedy become a job. You know, I was going out 3 nights a week. I was doing a tour with another comic, and it could be much, you know, traveling all over the place. Take a little time off, sit back,
Yes.
rethink the whole thing, and get back to where it's fun. Because if it ain't fun, the
It's not
crowd's
going
gonna know
anywhere.
it. You can't bullshit a crowd. Get what
Yeah,
I'm
you
saying?
can't.
You
Yeah.
can't. You've gotta. It's gotta be in you. And
Yeah, that fire.
I mean, comedy's very tough. It's hard. It is not easy, man. There's no easy way to do it.
I found it easy. To why?
Because you do comedy all the time. When you sit on Mulberry and La Bella Ferraris, you're doing 2 hours of comedy a night. Because you're doing stand-up. You don't realize it, but you're doing stand-up. You're engaging people. You're making them
I
laugh.
wonder as well, just thinking out loud, because you've had such success with commercials and movies, the confidence is there too because you know that you book. You book.
Yeah.
You're likable. You know that you can do it, that you're wanted and desired.
Well, what's helped
that
me
you're
out a
booking.
lot
So I wonder
is this
also,
television show.
I was just saying to the girls that you get so much out of your system, you know, having this experience. What is it about this that has worked?
Well, I'll tell you, doing this show has really helped me out a lot. Because I've been doing it for a total of about 7 years. So working with the girls, working with an audience, working with the guests, it brings me in front of these people to where when I'm on stage doing my stand-up,
It's comfortable, right?
I feel very comfortable. It's like I'm on one of
Don't
my
even
shows
notice.
and I'm just telling them stories.
I've already got
true.
7
So
years
I didn't find
experience.
it hard at all. I found it very easy.
I was just saying to the girls how I have experienced, because I've been working a lot on set, when you have all of the cameras and you are working for big networks, when the cameras are in your face, you do feel it in your being. But I immediately thought, oh my gosh, there was a time when I started the show, I was so nervous, and now I don't even notice it. I have to, where are the cameras? And I have to think about it. But oh gosh, it changes who you are. So that you
Well,
can actually
you
do
have
your
to
work.
forget that those
It's
cameras
true.
are there.
You do, otherwise
You
you
must
do
forget. Like when I work with you guys, you know what? I don't even know about the cameras.
I know, it's true.
Sean, and all I'm working with
Right.
you guys.
You're
I don't even know that the camera's on. So if the camera wants to tape us, fine.
Yeah,
You know,
totally. We'd be doing this anyway. It's so true. But it's true.
And so the cameras don't tighten me up. It doesn't make me
Right.
nervous.
Right.
Because, so it was the same thing when I was in front of that crowd.
Yeah.
Don't forget, I was doing it. I went out there, and it was just like he said. You know, he went to La Bella Ferraris. He was doing like, he doesn't know that he's doing it, but he was like 2 hours of
Yeah.
2 hours of stories right there.
And the young comic that I was with the night I met you, he's going to be on the show, Mr. Dan Stack. He also comes from Oakville, right? Yeah. I explained that to him in the car at home. I said, you see what that guy was doing? He was doing stand-up. He was doing it at a table in front of 1,000 people walking by, but he was engaging everybody and getting them and winning them over.
I
Right away.
have a
Eye contact,
little
everything.
suggestion for any comic that goes out there. When you go out there for the first time,
Right.
you better give them a story that's going to knock them off their seats. Because if you lose their interest, you're doomed.
Do you do it in like the
You
first?
do.
Do you start off with something that's really strong
Oh,
and then kind
yeah.
of, you
And
know,
I have
finish?
a new one.
Yeah.
I mean, I opened it up with a great story the last time, but now I even have a better one for the second
I
one.
was just going to ask you that. Do you think that your stories change every time that you do this based
No,
on the
it's just that you want to know
audience
something. I give an hour and 15 minutes. You want to? If they left me alone, I could do 5 hours.
Yeah, he would never stop. He literally.
You think that's funny? I got another one. Oh,
Richard's like, the show's over, Vinny. The show's over.
There's no doubt in my mind he could
You
do
have an
that.
hour's material, an hour. I got 5 hours if you want. How long you want me up
Just
there?
tell me when to stop.
And I could just keep going and keep going and keep going. But the funny thing about these stories is that I picked out the very best ones.
Sure.
But you got to give them. The first one has to be a killer. If it's not, and they just look
wonder
at
what
you
you
like that
open with.
after the first story,
Wonder.
you lost their interest. You're doomed, man. You're
Do you
up
have
6
somebody open your shows now up here in the city? Do you have like
Warm 'em
a
up a
musical
little bit?
act or a comedy? Nothing?
Maybe you should have the Vinny Angel's doing a little bit.
You can go out there and
Absolutely.
dance or
Oh, a little tap
something.
dance? I'll go out there and do a little tap
anything.
number.
The last time
Absolutely.
I opened up with something great.
Yeah.
This one is even better.
Better.
And I don't. Should I give a little bit of it away?
It's up to you. It's your show, man. Your show.
Okay, well, I'm just going to tell you how I opened up, how I'm going to open up the next one. And I opened up with my father just before he passed away. He asked me if I would bring my mother and my kid brother to the cemetery to go buy 3 mausoleums. And he said, do you want one too? I said, no, Pa. 3 is fine. He says, but do me a favor. Put a Nicky on the one end. Don't put him next to me. And put a mom over here and me on the other end. I said, okay, fine. So we went there to go buy mausoleums. So the guy's showing us all these mausoleums. He tells my mother, he says, well, have those 3 over there. My mother says, no, I don't want to be up there. It's too high. I get a dizzy. I said, Ma, how you going to get dizzy? If you're dead, you don't get dizzy, you know? And then the guy's looking at me. What are you looking at me for? She said it. And then he points at 3 like on the floor. And she says, and I don't want over there because you're going to get a dusty. I said, Ma, please, you're embarrassing.
You are dust.
You can't do that. So my brother, you'll see why later on in the stories. The guy brought us all around, and we needed 3 together. And there was 1 at the very end, and then 3. And my brother said, who's in that one? The guy said, a professor. He says, we'll take these 3. At least I'll have someone to talk to. So the guy looked at me and said, what are you looking at me for? He's the one that said it. You know? So then he said to me, he says, and after he wrote them up for that 3, he said, sir, do you want one in here also? B? I said, listen to me. I don't even want the same cemetery. I want to be out of here. You know? But it's a little different when I'm on stage.
Yes,
Yeah,
this is
of
hysterical.
course, I love it though.
Well, yeah, Nikki has been quite the
Great
brother.
story.
But the stories are one after the other. And then they say, Vinny, you can't give them too much. You got to give them an hour, now 15 minutes. I mean, if you let me go.
Listen, like I said, we run this show. This isn't like a club. You're going to go until the people tell you. You'll know when it's time to go, when they start to lose interest, they get tired.
Well, you know what I like? I like after 1 hour, 1 hour, 15 minutes from behind, they give me like a light,
a little sun.
like a red light. And then when it starts to, red light means you got 5 minutes. Then when it starts to flash, that means it's over with.
Yep.
And then if I keep going, sometimes I just ignore
In New
it.
York City, if you keep going, you get your name crossed through the list and you don't work here no more.
Well, you know, sometimes I don't want to stop. I just want to continue.
Yeah, if you're feeling it, you know, you're just
Those
going.
people just
Gotta go
loving me
flow.
that night. And I'm getting better and better and better.
We're going to have the after party actually at that club this time instead of last time I did it at another nightclub across town. This way, you know what I'm saying, after the show, you do the meet and greet.
He likes vodka with a little bit of cranberry.
Yeah.
Hey, Vinny, do you drink while
I'm
you're
a
up there?
lot
Like
vodka.
alcohol?
Yeah, I do. I
vodka, a little bit of
yes, I
cranberry,
did.
spice.
The last time I was there,
They're already going to be set.
I
That's
had-
all I drink is
I had
vodka.
a stand.
Drinks a lot,
like
probably. And probably
I had-
more. Some brownies.
I had a stand-up mic over here and then a table over here. And the table had like a big cue card that would tell me my stories like one after the other. Not that I don't remember them, but just in case, you know. Like in between a story, I'll reach for my drink and I'll look
Every
at the
artist
cue
has a
card
list.
and I'll know what I'm to say next. But I really don't need it, but just in case. And yes, I do drink. I don't drink a lot, but I have
Take the
like
edge off.
cranberry and
Yeah, I don't think you're a real comedian unless you're drinking on stage.
Yeah, man, you got to.
I feel like they all do that.
Yeah, well,
It's
why
vital.
don't,
It's
why
vital
don't
in
you
their
come to
stand-up.
one of
we have
my
vodka
shows
here.
and just
I
keep,
open a vodka cranberry. No.
why don't you come to one of my shows and just keep giving me drinks, baby? She lives not
figured
too
we
far
should
from
drink
me. You
vodka
know,
and
wine.
she lives about just a few blocks from me, and I don't mean to embarrass her, but she knows, she'll agree. I see her from my window.
Oh,
and
every
she
time he
knows,
says it.
she
Every time.
knows, she
I'm in
undresses.
her apartment. There's no opportunity. There's nothing to see. It's just all jokes.
Anybody
Mr.
else
Joke.
that would sound very creepy coming from, but you could pull it off. You do.
I know, there is something creepy. Yes,
Yeah.
pull it off.
She's near that window and dresses, but she knows I'm looking, but she won't look. She won't look across to see if I'm looking.
Like
but
the
I
See
know
the picture of
one of
Vinny
these
just
days
waving in
she's
the
gonna
window
do
like,
it.
hi,
Creepy. Very creepy.
Cheryl.
Texting at the same time with her, too.
Taking pictures.
You know, the signal?
Oh, God?
I think we did.
Is God giving us the
And I
light?
wanted to make sure that the viewers get all of the information so that they can come and watch you. out
So
in
where is it?
Connecticut.
Yes, please, where is it? What's the...
Grand Oak
Now,
Villa.
let's see, you came to my
It's-
show, and I
Maybe-
think you might be
yet
coming,
to.
right?
Carissa's coming.
Carissa's coming, okay. And what is that all about?
Phone number so that
What?
people can book
Oh, yeah.
tickets.
Telephone
What was
number
that?
is 203-592-4081. Call for tickets.
Yeah, repeat that number again.
203-592-4081.
Oh, yeah. And tell them you're coming to, make sure you mention the Vinny Vella show.
That's-
Yeah, we want to give you tickets for something
Absolutely.
else. And I know you're going to come
Have a
to one of
great
my shows,
time.
right? You know which one you're
And then
coming
you'll have to
to?
show us
Probably,
those pubs you were talking
hopefully,
about.
hopefully soon.
Without
this
a doubt.
weekend. We'll see.
Okay. And maybe if I could get Katie out of Pennsylvania and
She comes up
Cheryl
from
out of
Philly.
her apartment in
Please, one more
Chinatown.
time, the name of your club.
And
The Grand Oak Villa. It's on Sylvan Lake Road in Oakville, Connecticut.
Okay.
Awesome.
Greatest
And the
Italian
date
club.
is November?
November 17th.
Okay.
Are the Connecticut
special
people
date.
any different to the New York people? I mean, is
Way
it still
different.
classed as New York, Connecticut?
It's a metropolitan area, but no, New Yorkers are New Yorkers.
Yeah, it's
so
very
does he have to
different.
prepare himself for any Connecticut people?
They'll love them. It's an Italian club.
So it's all good.
Oh, yeah.
Like I told you, you're going to be the mayor.
Are you
Watch,
gonna be
watch.
serving pescetti or what?
Yeah. I got an extra room in my place over there. I live close to the club, so that might be like your
He's a
monthly
hotel
thing.
man, I
Next
must
room?
say. He likes the pH.
What would I need the extra?
Because you might be coming all
What would
the
I need the
time.
extra room for?
Might be coming all the time. You never know.
If I could get my girl to come on, maybe I could use that. I don't know.
There you go,
Maybe I
man.
could hang out a little bit.
We're gonna have a after party.
But
and
anyway,
stuff.
no.
Always.
I,
There's always an after party. Always.
Yeah, well, I honestly can't wait to come to that show because you want to know something? I just want to really give them their money's worth. I really just want to. I want them all
you
to
will.
be fans.
I really want to.
Do what? You really
It's going to be
I
great.
really
I
want to
can't
go
wait
to
till
the
you
show.
have 500 people just fall in love with you like that. Large crowd. It's going to be the best, I'm telling
Yeah.
you.
Well, I'm going to a police benevolent association for the Department of Correction very soon, and it's going to have about 400 or 500
I
people.
did one in Connecticut before.
I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to be doing stand-up there. But, you know, I have to give them a little something because, you know, it's always good to get in good with the Department of Correction because you never know when you're going to get locked
Yeah,
up.
Better
especially with
ask,
you, man.
get out of jail free cards. I got one in every town in Connecticut.
Give him a nice hand. Give him a nice hand. Wait, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Taxi drivers walk ups and high rises, Baker Street and Mulberry, and Staten Island Ferry, Rikers Island, Wall Street, MoMA, Lady Liberty, Park Slope, Brooklyn Heights, Williamsburg and Bed-Stuy. Watch out for the bedbugs, pigeons and the rats. New York City's where I'm at. The Ramones, Bobby, Talking Heads, Yankees, Mets, Giants, Jets, L-I-E-G-W-B, FTR, and the BQE. Bus stops, taxi drivers, walk ups and high rises, Baker Street and Mulberry, and Staten Island Ferry, Rikers Island, Wall Street, MoMA, Lady Liberty, Park Slope, Brooklyn Heights.
All right, welcome to the Vinny Vella Show. Wow. We have such a special guest here tonight. You're not going to believe it.
Not gonna believe it.
But before we get on to that, I always introduce my girls.
Yay.
You know, and we have Katie from Pennsylvania. We have Carisa, my baby, my other little doll, and we got Lucy that's going to do. Wait, this is our last show. Oh my God!
Can't even
This is
deal.
my last show.
That's all right, guys.
Lucy is moving on to her own radio show
And web show.
and I'm gonna be on that radio show when you do it.
On Deck with Lucy, yeah.
And I'm gonna miss you terribly because